Hi there. We will be starting a new unit. So this is an introduction to Unit 4. Unit 4 is argumentative text. And for our argumentative text, we will learn persuasive techniques that will be used, that writers use in order to persuade others to either start doing something or to think a certain way, or to stop doing something or thinking a certain way. We will have a list of vocabulary that you will need to know. And after you review this Google slide and work the assignment, you will follow this Quizlet link below to review the persuasive techniques vocabulary words. There will be a quiz tomorrow over all of the vocabulary words. But first, what you need to do is watch the video on slide 2, and then read and watch all the information and terms for slides 3 through 22. And then watch any videos throughout the slide presentations that show up. Then you will open the assignment below and use the assignment below in Canvas, is what it should say, and use these slides to fill in the blanks. We'll add the word Canvas, okay? And then use these slides to fill in the blanks. We will review the Quizlet using the link on slide 3 to prepare for the quiz tomorrow over all the terms and definitions for this presentation. And this is the Quizlet link I was just telling you about. All right, so you're going to go through and you're just going to look at this. Persuade. Since this is argumentative, in order to be a good arguer of topics, you need to be able to persuade someone. And persuade means to cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. And then we have a technique, so persuasive techniques. The technique is a way of carrying out a task. So what technique do you use to persuade someone? And then we have an appeal. And so when you appeal to someone, it's to make a serious or urgent request. I appeal to we have what we call persuasive techniques. We divide them into 3 different types of appeals. And the 3 categories are ethos, pathos, and logos. And ethos is an appeal to your moral character, the trust. So we have like the trusting. An open hand is a trusting sign. When people see an open hand, they know that you don't have a weapon in it. So therefore, they know that you have moral character. And the way I think of ethos, I think of ethics and moral characters. Those 2 go along together. That all has to do with trust. And then there's pathos, which is appeal to emotions. And pathos has to do with our heart, our emotions, either pulling at our heartstrings, making us sad, like those sad puppy commercials and commercials where people are in need, or the opposite of that, extreme happiness. Certain things, if you bring certain things into your life, it can improve your mood or your comfort. Therefore, your emotions will be affected in a positive way. So emotions having to do with either positive or negative. And then our 3rd category would be logos. And logos is the appeal to logic, facts, and reason. We use evidence types of examples with our logos. Use your brain to sort of think through the evidence. And I think of this like L is logos, and you see the word logic in it. And then we're going to move on to our terms. The terms such as bandwagon has to do with peer pressure, and bandwagon using the argument that because everyone is doing it, you should too. People who use this bandwagon would be like phones. You need to get an iPhone or a certain kind of phone. Get on board using this vitamin water because you can have the COVID experience too. So there's several different appeals here that the advertisers should use. Social media bandwagon. Everybody wants you to be on social media. And then when you're on social media, you want to, so McDonald's. So we have the peer pressure of using McDonald's. And my idea of McDonald's is bum diabetes and a heart attack. So the peer pressure there is not to use it. But of course, McDonald's wants you to use, and they say billions and billions have been served, so it must be good. I mean, of course, the Nike just do it, everyone else did. Okay. And then typically bandwagon appeals to our emotions. And then we have ad hominem, or also called name calling. It's using loaded words to create negative feelings about a person, group, or thing to put down the competition. And you use an ad hominem or name calling when you're attacking your opponent's character. Like, for instance, Big Mac seems more like a medium. So the Whopper is Burger King's Whopper is taking on the Big Mac. We have an ad hominem attack, personal foul, attack the opponent instead of his argument. Silly Whopper, that's a Big Mac box. So they're showing that the Whopper can't even fit in the Big Mac box. So Burger King is really trying to call out McDonald's Big Mac. Coke versus Pepsi, which one's the best? And then, of course, there's Verizon versus Sprint. We can hear you now. And then testimonial or emulation. And that's using the testimony or statement of a well-known person to persuade you to think or act as he or she does or endorse a product. That could be like them. And so we have models and actors and actresses and singers using certain products, like products for your face, smart water. We have products like for selling bats or sports gear often, or sports medicines, things like that. So that's ethos, appealing to moral character. And it's also, so it's all different, but different types, but that's the basic one. I'm not going to go through all of these. Your job is to go through and read these like I just did. Look at the ad and think how that relates to the persuasive technique and how the definition all wraps together. We see these different persuasive. So once you've gone through all of these persuasive techniques, you will use this information to answer today's assignment attached below. And when I say below, I mean in Canvas. Okay, so make this a little smaller so it'll fit. And move this down. So definitely use all this information to go to the next assignment. What's attached below is this assignment, and this is the part that you fill in and turn in. Persuasive techniques, and again, we're beginning Unit 4, and it says use the slides above to fill in the definitions, blanks, and missing information. So vocabulary you need to know, you're going to type the definitions below for each term. For instance, persuade. So you're going to go back here and you're going to ask, what does persuade mean? And if we look at persuade, it's to cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. And you just literally start typing. So you're going to type it all. You'll do that for each of these as you go through. Fill it in. And on this part, you're filling in the same thing. What is pathos, ethos, and logos? What are the three categories? And type the definitions. And on this part, you're going to fill in bandwagon is also known as peer pressure. So you go back in here and you'll type, and you may need to, if you want to delete the blanks, spaces, you can. It's fine if you want to get rid of that. Using the argument that because something, words or phrases of this slide that support the definition of bandwagon. What words or phrases on this slide support? So if we go look at this, bandwagon, words like everyone else did. Loving it is easy. That's why so many people do. So you would go here and you would put Nike, everyone else did. And then you can put the iPhone, the words used for the iPhone would be, that's why so many people do. So it should be Loving is easy. That's why we do. So, looking at it again. So, that's your assignment for today. You'll go through and fill in each of these. And then once you are finished filling them in, you will turn this into Canvas for a daily grade. And don't forget to use the Quizlet link. If you go to use this link and you open Quizlet, then you can review for the quiz tomorrow. And it's persuasive techniques. And you can review it with flashcards. I'm sure you've used Quizlet some this year, but if you're using the flashcards, persuade, you can ask yourself, what does persuade mean? And you might think to yourself, persuade is when you're trying to get someone to do something. Click it. So if you click it, it'll tell you to cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. So that's it. And then you would move on to the next one, technique. So what does a technique mean? Technique means the way that someone persuades someone. If you don't remember, then go ahead and click it and get the definition, a way of carrying out a task. All right, so that is how you can use these. And you can also use them in different ways, but use your Quizlet to study. And that is today's assignment.